Alright, part 5 of working on a Sony RX100 M5. So I got the lens in, got all that situated. Had to wait for this little spacer to come into the mail. So that finally came today. It's one of those little spacers that go inside the lens over here. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. I think she lost one, so I had to replace that. Had to wait for that to come in the mail. So I got the lens in and everything, and so what I want to talk about is how this motherboard comes out, and I found out how this cable here unplugs. So this little cable here, it's just a little plug. Let me show you that. You see that little plug right there, and so that cable just plugs in, and if you have one of these, I'm going to come on the side of it and just gently go up on it, and it'll unplug. So that's how that unplugs. So this motherboard's kind of difficult to get out. You got little clips over here after you remove this screw over here, and you got to be careful because you have that CCD cable underneath there, and of course you have these 2 cables here, this cable. So once you unplug this one, remove this little screw, fold that little cable back. Remove, let's see what else. Of course, you're going to remove the LCD and all that, and all this stuff up here is going to have to be removed. Those go in there. So there's this little clip over here, and let me see if I can get a pointer on that. There's this clip right there, and you kind of got to get on it, push that clip out of the way, and then once this motherboard comes up on this side, just kind of push it up a little bit. There's still a clip down here, and then there's one over here, and you want to be careful because you got that CCD under there. So once you start pushing up on this side, you kind of get it to get over this one here, and then you got to kind of hold this one with your fingernail and push it around it, and then once you get going up, then you can remove these 2 cables here, because you can't remove them sitting like that because you see how they're jammed in between there. This motherboard has to come up before you can remove those. Then once those are removed, you can just freely pick this up and go that way and get underneath it. It'll fold this way, not too much, and then you can remove the CCD cable. So I got all the cables soldered in. I got the little speaker there, that's how that goes. I got that other solder point over there soldered. Everything else connected. I gotta connect these, they go right here. Then I still got that sticky stuff. I gotta put this cable down. Now I did notice this retainer. I thought it was the retainer that's busted, but it's not the retainer. The retainer is still there. It's the what's it called, the little protective cap that goes on those little wires. It's what's busted. So it might still make contact once I slip that LCD cable in there and push that retainer down. I just got to make sure that none of these little connections back here are touching. I got to get my micro glass in there and see. And let's see what else. Other than the motherboard being a little different from the M4. The M4 is kind of a pain to get apart too. All this here over here seems like the same as the M4. It's just a motherboard. This one has less cables though. The M4 had, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cables on it, if I can remember. So this one just has 1, 2, 3, 4. The CCD and these, I think that's the memory card or something, and then this power cable here. So I got all that done, and this is ready to be put back, but I just wanted to show you what kind of little cable this is. If you do take yours apart, you just get a little thing like this, one of those little plastic things, and you come on right here and you can just pop it right off. And so that's that. And so I was working on the LCD, and so it was mostly apart. I got that other cable out, and you know, once you take this, I was going to do video showing this, but man, I just want to get this thing done. But once all these screws, and I think I got the right screws in there, because I put my little screws in piles here. I counted all the screws up. Let's see, these I think went onto this old lens because there's screws missing on this lens. These are the fine thread screws, mostly for case. The goes into aluminum. These are coarse thread. Those will go into plastic, and those are some more fine aluminum or, you know, metal screw. Then there's these real itty bitty small ones. Now I did have some more itty bitty small ones, and then I counted them up. Let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and I wasn't sure if it's these little screws or these, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are just a little bit bigger. These are really, I mean, you see how small those are. These are like really, so I wasn't sure, but those went in. Let's see, I don't know where these other 5 would go yet, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a count of 5 for these screws. And let me just show you what size these are. I'm not sure which ones actually went in here, but these are all the same size, and they seem like they went in. And you want to make sure that these are the right screws. Now you see what size screw that is, and you see this one. You can't even get it on its side. You see how much. Let me see if I can get that a little closer for you. And you see the size of that one, and this one is just like really, really small. It's hard to get it on its side. It's so small. You see how small this one is. So I wasn't sure if it's this one or these that went in there. So let's see if this little size, the smaller size, will even fit in here. So even that one fits in there. But I'm just not sure of which ones it is. If it's the super small or those. And so that's why I don't like taking apart cameras that I don't take it apart. Someone else worked on it and it's all apart. You don't know where the screws go, especially if you never worked on it before. Let's see, that screw, you know, it could be them smaller ones. Let's see if this one will go in there. You know, it could be the real super small ones. I'm going to go ahead and swap these all out for the super small ones, because they're threading in there. And so you just want to make sure that you put the right screws, because if that goes through and hits something, it could really damage something. But I was going in real slow with it, and I thought, well, it ain't hitting nothing, and it got tight. But you know, these are getting good thread on them, so I'm gonna go with the little ones. And let's see, and there's one more, so there's still 5 count of those and 5 count of the other ones, and I have to remove that one first. And one more, get in there. So these got some pretty good thread on them, but I'm just not sure. I mean, so anyway, this thing is not too hard to get apart. It's a lot easier than to replace this cable than, what was that last one I did, the M4 or something, M3. This thing, once you get these screws out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little screws, this plate here, this little plate here will just pop off. And then there's another little plastic bar that this cable runs through. You just got to pop that out of the way. And then there's the main piece, and you kind of got to get over here like this and get under there, and it'll pop off these latches down over here. Just get over here and it'll go pop, pop, and then that whole piece will come out, and then you can put that cable on, or you know, the whole LCD will pop off of it, you know. So if you have to replace the LCD, I don't know, I think this stays with it, so the LCD will probably be stuck to this by that stickum stuff. But real simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. This little board here will pop right out of the way. Then there's a little plastic bar, remove that, and then once you get to that other metal piece, you'll see the cables right here. Unplug the LCD cable, and then get your screwdriver over here. You'll see a little slot, just get it in there and go like that, pop, pop, and that'll come apart. And so this cable, I'm not sure how it goes yet, but I know this little bar goes on there. I got to figure out how that snaps into place. And then here's, okay, there's a magnet inside here. Now I know where this one goes. There's a little square magnet that goes right there. Now I got these other two little magnets. Let me show you where, I don't know, I've never seen these. There's this one here. Well, actually this one's not a magnet, and I don't know where this little piece goes. I've never seen this. I don't know where it goes, but this was in that little LCD bag, and I looked all over to see where this thing went, and I couldn't figure it out. So I emailed the girl to see if she knew where this thing came out, because it was, I think it was in the bag of the LCD. So I don't know where this goes. I got to find out where that goes. If I have to take this back apart, that won't be a problem. I know where that little square one right there is. I knew where that one is, but just don't know where that other one went. So, and then I got to figure out where this cable goes. I think it tucks under here and then goes inside there, and then this mounts to, this mounts right here. So that cable is going to go in there like that, and that just screws together like that, and then that cable is going to run inside here and come out of that thing. So that's that. So I was going to do a video showing how to do this, but man, you know, I just want to get this thing done. I can't really do that video because I don't even know where this correct screws to go to this thing, you know, because it's already been taken apart. I really don't know how it even goes yet, because I couldn't find where these go. I have to find that out, and still messing with the camera. So I just wanted to point out what I figured out on this part of the camera. It's basically just like the M4, except for this motherboard right here. It's a little difference. Clips there, pops out. You gotta watch the CCD, you know, just be real careful. And other than that, that's where I'm at on this camera. And I guess I'm gonna do one more part to this video, because I really got to get this thing finished, because I got so much other stuff going on. So I'm gonna do this video, and then I'm gonna do a end video, which be part 5. This will be what, part 4 I think, or 3. This is part 3. I think this is part 3. So part 4 will be, you know, showing the video of the camera all together and working and testing it and stuff like that. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully this little thing will still hold the cable and show the LCD and be fine. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up for here. This was working on the RX100 M5. It's coming along a little bit more. Just got to figure out where this goes, and it's done. Alright, I'm out of this one.